I think we're live, Dougie. Hi, bud.
Hey, buddy, happy birthday.
Thanks.
We're really happy to be on here. We got a great group of people that just want to send you some great love tonight, share what they've been up
I
to.
could use it, man. These technical difficulties are killing me.
That is just part of the new online event world. Welcome to the beauty of the not in-person experience.
Yeah, well, it is a learning experience for all, and I think that's the beauty of Mindshare is that is a learning experience for all.
Right.
So I think, why don't you just take it away, my brother?
Well, we got some great stuff for you. We're going to jump in. But first, I just wanted to ask for people that are watching, what is this whole celebration? I know there's a cause for what's happening tonight. I know people can donate. So maybe you could just give us a quick elevator pitch for the cause.
Yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate that. We definitely need some help in that department. Mike Russick says, hi, buddy. We are at roughly 2,500 out of $10,000, and we're halfway through. So we got to pick it up. We are trying to raise today $10,000 for the Midnight Mission. As you know, I'm passionate about helping people on the streets who are experiencing homelessness.
Yeah.
And so Midnight Mission is right down there doing this work, and it's important work. So I'm supporting that today, trying to help really do something about that in our city. These people need all the help they can get, especially in these times of COVID. They're the most vulnerable population right now.
Well, buddy, you've got a heart of gold. I want to now show you, and feel free to stay on. And if you want to just, pop in and harass our esteemed guests.
All of you, buddy. I got to get ready and talk to Amori and see if he's ready for the next part.
Well, we got a great lineup for you tonight. As you can hopefully see when I cancel this, if you can see everybody now, can you see all of our guests on your screen?
I cannot, but I can make that happen. Would you like me to be in gallery view?
Yeah, so, okay, yeah.
There's everybody there.
Whenever I'm put back in charge, I'd love to bring in our first guest for the evening. Each guest it's going to be a shotgun style. I've invited 10 guests on, each to share a 5-minute piece to use however they like. I'm going to basically ask a question and let them riff on it. So if that's good with you, I'm just going to get started.
Have at it, my friend.
Right on, brother. Well, I'm excited to bring up to launch our panel, our first guest of the evening, the esteemed educator, artist, creator, adventurer, philosopher, and just downright great individual, Dave Zaboski. Welcome, my friend. And let me unmute you too, because I feel like you deserve it.
All right, great. Thank you. Wow, that's quite a nice introduction. Thank you. That's really sweet. I'm super excited to be here. Happy birthday, Helix. And yeah, I love that we're doing something different. It's pretty neat.
Well, Dave, I'm really excited. I know you are one of the more optimistic friends of mine, and I got a lot of great optimistic friends. But I'm curious about this strange time. And this is going to be a question we're going to come back to with a lot of the guests tonight. How have you been turning this into something creative, a creative time for yourself, and maybe share with us a little bit of what you've been up to?
Well, I mean, I'm an artist. I'm an artist and a painter, so it hasn't changed that much for me. I work from home anyway. But what I am driven by is, I just think it's a really interesting opportunity right now to just examine what our structures are. Why do we do the things that we do? How do we know what we know? So, yeah, I keep busy by making a bunch of art. I'm going to do something for us tonight a little bit here.
Great. So yeah, what are you planning to do this evening?
Well, something super cool. I don't know what it is exactly yet, but I'm going to get started on it. And so maybe I might share my screen, and then I'm going to start noodling. And if you want to keep chatting, I can just I'll just keep drawing while we chat. If that's all right.
Great. Yeah, share your screen. Show us what we got, what you've been up to. I know you used to be pretty much an analog guy, and I know you've been embracing the digital realm lately. So maybe you could show us a little bit. This is your interface here, huh?
Yeah. So this is Photoshop. I have a Wacom tablet. This is my thing I'm gonna draw on, and I think I'm just going to there's this angel that I quite like. So I'm going to do a little drawing of that. The thing that I love, so yeah, I'm a classically trained traditional illustrator. And I love the digital, because the digital has this thing called undo. And man, that is all kinds of magic. Let's see here.
And so we're going to be coming back to Dave later on, who's going to then show us what he's created over the course of tonight's event.
Right.
So, and I'd love to just ask, so what other things have you been? I know you've been like super in the lab during all of this. What other things have you been scheming? Some stuff that we might be able to explore or find out more about in the coming weeks and months.
Well, I'll tell you one of the things that I've been doing. You know, I like to listen for there's kind of a shift in the wind going on right now. So one of the things that I have been involved in is something that is called One Shared World. And there's this group of people who are from all around the world. You can check out oneshared.world. And there's this group of people that are looking to, kind of help us through this mess and maybe codify some kind of changes in a way to maybe, live with this shift and recognize how to be better to each other.
I love that.
So yeah, I'm working with some groups on how to create what's next.
Well, Dave, as usual, I'm so grateful for you being present with us tonight. We're looking for already. This is looking beautiful. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you pull up as I throw my microphone across the room. Here we go. So we'll come back to you a little bit later on and see where you're at. So I just want to say thanks again. So give it up for Dave, everybody.
Hey, it's my pleasure. See you
buddy.
guys in a little bit. Hopefully I won't wreck this thing. I'll go mute and I'll say sayonara for the time being.
All right. So for our next presenter for the evening, when I think of people living in their creativity and just some of my most colorful, wonderful friends, I think of Durian Songbird, a master creator, the creator of Fairy Dancing Wings, the creator of really, truly a global movement of people loving and playing their ocarinas, and just all around an amazing character. So I'm so happy to introduce for this evening, Durian Songbird.
Hi.
Durian, welcome tonight. What a beautiful place. Where are you right now? What an amazing scene behind you.
This is my home in Los Angeles, and you'll see here some grapes that were hand blown by Adam Mostow, a great local glass blower. And the concept was a chandelier that looked like a cluster of grapes. And so it was kind of inspired by a Dionysian kind of inspiration, and which is a nice segue into what's been I've been passionate about lately, which has been learning about ancient Greek mythology. And I found a great book. Actually, when I was visiting Helix for Thanksgiving up at his family home up in near San Rafael, we went to this really charming little bookstore, and old school, like they had the best books in there. And I found a big hardcover book about Greek mythology written by Stephen Fry. And I've just been so obsessed with that book and learning about the origins of so much of our culture and our mythology and our language that comes directly from Greek. And so just a little segue there into something that I've been exploring and passionate about learning about Athena and Poseidon and all the different origin myths and the stories behind them. There's not a lot of interpretation. It's just the storytelling of it, but it's so rich. And when you see the echoes in modern society, so I definitely can relate to what the big Zaboski said there about spending this time getting into philosophy and understanding the how and the what's going on, and so, seeing the echoes of the ancient wisdom in what's happening today.
I'm super curious. So it's really fascinating the way I was about to ask. So what takeaways or inspirations have you felt from the all your learnings of the Greek mythology and things like that? And then you were saying, well, it's less about the interpretation and more about maybe the story. And so I'm just wondering, like, is there stuff you take from that? And that I know we're sort of halfway through. I don't want to take all your time, but is there something you want to share in terms of how the learning that stuff, the reading those stories has affected your day to day?
I'm all about the interpretation, and I was actually disappointed when I found out that this elucidation of the Greek myths didn't really go into like the moral of the story is, and here's how it relates to modern times. It's using it just as a storytelling vehicle, and it leaves it up to us to infer what it means about modern life or the life at antiquities and stuff. So like the story of Pandora and seeing how it was pretty much like it was a punishment from, you know, seeing a big takeaway is the imperfection of life and seeing how the gods are so like, they're so imperfect. They're so, you know, they're so flawed. And so it shows you how, you know, why bad things happen to good people. It's because, you know, the gods are, you know, these horrible beings that are just full of jealousy and revenge and stuff. And it kind of gets into, you know, it exposes like some of the paradoxes and contradictions that are inherent in life in this dimension.
Well, you are such a thinker. I've got, you got like a minute and a half left to share with us, whether you want to share a poem, something musical, anything else you feel creative about. What would you like to leave us with this evening?
Well, I'll just talk because I'm always playing music and stuff. So I'll just share. I want to say that Helix was really there for me a couple weeks ago. It was on Easter. I was having a dark night of the soul, which is, I guess that's what Jews do on Easter. Why am I getting it? Oh, that's weird. My phone is repeating me. Okay. So, yeah, this Jew had a dark night of the soul on Easter, and Helix was there for me and really like helped me out a lot, was really there for me in a very deep way. And so I want to thank him for that. And he also let me borrow his dad, which was very generous of him. And so, so I love you for that. And I've also been like watching his search for love is like one of the greatest reality shows going on right now. It's just like really fascinating. As a single Angelino myself, I'm kind of like watching and saying, so how does that work, being totally like earnest and upfront and just throwing your cards on the table, you know?
Well, Durian, I gotta say, like, if there's anybody that deserves good love, it's you, and Helix is probably a close second. So I wish that you bachelors both joy. There's probably a plethora of a plethora of piñatas. We just watched The Three Amigos. A plethora of beautiful, beautiful, attractive suitors that are just dying for attention from fellas like you. So if you are out there, ladies, feel free to shoot messages and we will forward them to the bachelors this evening.
I like that you said a plethora of plenitude and not like a cornucopia of catheters. So
yeah, no,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I am so happy. Thanks again, Durian. And we'll catch up with you a little bit later. So my friends, now is the time for a musical interlude. I am very, very excited to introduce, and we don't even have to go to another Zoom window. I think I can just go like this, spotlight my own video, because I would love to introduce my amazing girlfriend, Selina, who's been practicing a little something. Why don't you come and sit over here, my dear? Everybody, welcome, Selina.
Hi.
So how has your quarantine been?
Oh, it's been a real roller coaster, I'll tell you what. So, you know, I have a 7-year-old son. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of really quick shifting from what was normal life into this new normal, and very little time for integration. But we're getting it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finding just a great balance. Our little son's amazing. We have such great times, lots of adventures.
Lots of play.
Lots of play. And we've also had a blessed week off. He's been back with his pops this week. And so I love having him. And also it's been amazing to remember what a little quiet time is like too.
Indeed.
But I know you want to share something with us. You've been practicing. What have you been practicing? What is this you got here?
Okay, so I have been learning the ukulele. That's been one of my coping mechanisms for the quarantine blues, which has been really fun. And yeah, I just started, you know, really recently. So I've got a couple of songs that I taught myself off of YouTube.
Well, I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to pass it off to my lovely lady here, Selina, and show us what you got.
Okay. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, I've only been practicing for a few months now. So forgive me if I miss a chord here or there, but I hope you enjoy this. It's one of my favorite songs by a band called Elephant Revival. This is called Sing to the Mountain. So enjoy. Let the fires burn tonight. Let the jugs of wine get drunk. Let the truth be known tonight. Don't go let yourself hide. Go and sing to the mountains. Go and sing to the moon. Go and sing about everything. Everything is you. Listen to the rhythm of your heart, play like a drum. Listen to the night call, singing songs from all around. Go and sing to the mountains. Go and sing to the moon. Go and sing to just about everything. Everything is you. And let your voice go. Let it pierce through your soul. And let your voice go. Let it pierce through your soul. Let the fires burn tonight. Let the jugs of wine get drunk. Let the truth be known tonight. Don't let yourself hide. Go and sing to the mountains. Go and sing to the moon. Go and sing about everything. Everything is you.
Woo! Thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Everybody,
Fun.
give it up for Selina. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. I swear she plays that sometimes, and I'm in the next room, and my heart flutters a little bit. So, what a joy! I am having so much fun. I know Helix is probably prettying himself up somehow, somewhere right now. I'm sure he's going to be out and looking beautiful soon. But I just want to send some happy birthday wishes his way, and I'm very excited to bring on our next guest, the wonderful, the always creative Teddy Saunders.
Yo, yo.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thank
You are one of those characters who I know no matter what's happening in the world, there is creative stuff going on. So I'm excited to no, not the baby hands. Another time I'll have to tell you about my intense aversion to baby hands. It's a whole thing that happened at Lightning in a Bottle. But tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, my friend.
Well, post-production, I suppose. Digital realms, building websites, editing videos, producing Zoom things. Yeah, that's kind of what I love technology and I love the future. And it's interesting to see COVID sort of trajecting us, catalyzing all this technology and really just trying to embrace as much as I can with everything that's going on, which I think is exciting as much as it's frustrating.
Well, and tonight you're going to show us an intro on HTML coding. Is that right?
You don't need HTML anymore. You can just use plugins like
I am totally kidding. We're not even going to talk about coding at all. I know.
Actually, if check out theiradventure.com, I built that in 1 hour this morning. That's the travel show that Helix and I have never released until today.
Awesome. Well, we're going to definitely have to geek out because I know we've got some things that we've been working on. I'm excited to learn, and I also learn from each other. And I also know that you do have something that you'd like to share with us tonight. So maybe you can give us a little bit of that story.
So, this is an unreleased film that I've been sitting on for a while, and it's about love and unity and how we kind of don't exist without each other. And I think if anyone embodies those principles, it's Helix the most. So it felt very appropriate to premiere this for the first time in this moment with you guys. So let me share my screen. Let me just take let me move that around a little bit.
It's going to be Helix's face.
No, let me move that. Wait, him and I we do a lot of production stuff together too, which is fun. and we monkey around the world.
You are monkeys, that's for sure.
Let's go here. So here, I'll just let this speak for itself. It's only 55 seconds.
Great.
The heart inside of you is me, dimensions of our destinies. Our depth goes to infinity, our feels rise to divinity. When I awaken now to see that we are one humanity. For you and I, we share this time, a moment where our souls align. Your gravity, it pulls my bones, for I would not exist alone. The reason I am here is you, for I am none without us two. Connected by the threads of trust, ancestors of the same stardust. I'll blast this beacon through so deep that portals rip up through my feet. It tidals like waves around me. The language of the heart, it speaks, for my heart beats. Yes, my heart beats. One love, one love, one love, one love, one. Love always wins. Again and again. Again and again. One love.
Bam.
Teddy, thank you so much, my friend. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. Well, just really want to express appreciation for all that you do, all that you are in this world. And thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Dougie, for having all this circus of amazing people in this hour, and for celebrating our dear brother, Helix.
Absolutely. Well, I am so excited to bring up our next guest, who I'll unmute because he's got something very special to share with us tonight. Nate, can you hear us?
I sure can, bud. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. I am so grateful that you're on tonight with us. How have you been? What have you been working on?
Me too. Also super grateful. Love you, Helix. Happy birthday, bud. I've been working on music quite a bit. I've been using this time to really sink into musical creativity a little bit more, and it's been really freeing so far. I've unfortunately been dealing with some health issues that have put a little kink in my energy, but other than that, my day-to-day has been relatively the same, apart from not seeing folks, and I think that's actually had a pretty heavy impact on my health, not being able to get that physical contact in, so I'm making up for it in some other ways, and music has been my bastion.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of everybody here who, I'm sure we all went through some arcs throughout this process, but being able to transmute this time at home into creative pursuits, I think is one of the ways we can really help transform energy within ourselves, to inspire others, and to just, to make a little bit a better world as we transition into what's to come. So I just want to say thanks for joining us, and take it away, man. The stage is yours.
Indeed. Yeah, so I'm sure some of you have heard this little ditty before, and our pal Jessica Rabbit, who's on the call with us, actually helped me write a little bit of this tune. It's called Once Upon a Lie. It's my take on fairy tales. I think it's a bit poignant for the times right now, so here we go. Fairy tales can come true, it can happen to you, but it ain't easy. Please believe me, babe, I rescued girls and got in fights. Yes, my horse, it was my bike, was raised by Disney. I know you're with me now,
Well, this life ain't even really what it seems. Better find myself a brand new shiny dream. 'Cause this one that I was sold is just a lie, and made me cry one too many times. Well, this life that we know, we make up as we go, we're improvising. Now let's get wise now, babe, buying shit that we don't need to build the world of make-believe we thought we wanted. And what a grand facade. Well, this life ain't even really what it seems. Better find ourselves a brand new shiny dream. Because this one that we were sold is just a lie, and made us cry one too many times. Where's your knight in shining armor? Where's my damsel in distress? What made us think that finding them would bring us happiness? Those brothers Grimm, they got it right. The world's a scary place. It's up to us to break the spell and cast our own for a change. What to do with this solitary shoe? We'll try it on now, because it might just fit. When you wish upon a star, it makes no difference who you are, it won't come true now, unless you make it so. Well, this dragon that you found won't slay itself. It's time to face your fears or run like hell. But you should pull your sword straight from that stone. 'Cause when blood hits the ground, you begin to find yourself.
Nate, thank you so much, my man. That is beautiful.
Cheers, gang.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
You bet. Thanks for having me, my man.
Right on,
Love
brother.
you guys. Love
Well,
you,
I
Healy.
am so excited to introduce our next guest, the amazingly colorful, creative, vivacious, and playful Faeryn Rose. Welcome to the evening tonight.
Hello, y'all. So happy to be here. Thank you so much, Dougie, for putting this together in honor of our dear brother Helix. He deserves a celebration like this in these
It's
times.
a real pleasure. Well, don't like feed his head too much. It's already pretty big. It's hardly fitting through the Zoom. We've only got limited bandwidth with the Zoom. No, we love him. He's so blessed to be here tonight, supporting Helix, supporting a great cause all together. We got so much awesome creativity and love here. So I know you are one person who is always up to mischief. And in fact, you have a whole performance group called Mythology. So, I mean, it's only right and only proper. I'm so grateful that you're here. Maybe I thought you could share with us a little bit about what you've been up to, how you've been spending your quarantine.
Oh my goodness. I've been spending my quarantine with some amazing souls at a community share house that I created, the Rainbow Menagerie Manor in West Adams. And I just feel so blessed to be living in community right now. I've got some amazing people that I'm living with. Just brought in some new housemates that are also just so high vibe, just wonderful, wonderful people. So been doing a lot of housework, putting in a garden, building a little fairy yurt in the backyard, and really hammering in the systems of community living. You know, it's we're kind of rediscovering how best to collaborate and hold each other accountable and all show up, you know. And so it feels we're in a real good groove right now, and it feels really, really awesome to be here.
So what about, like, you know, community living in your experience can teach us about the times that we're in and where we're going?
That's a great question. So I'm a huge believer in community living, as I know you are as well, living up in Trillium. I think that this is our future, honestly. I believe that we're going to all re-enter that space in time. And it's because we can accomplish more when we live together, and we are going to have to accomplish a lot. We're going to have to live sustainably very soon. There's going to be a moment where I believe, at least there's going to be a moment where that will be the easier way to live in a sustainable manner in community. And so personally, this is like my little sandbox. I'm practicing community living principles here in LA to be applied later on in a larger project on land, hopefully like a retreat center or somewhere where we can teach and share this way of life and propagate it, basically.
Yeah. So, we've only got so much time here. I think we could probably get into so much community conversation. We could have some geek out community stuff. I think we should have a whole breakout in terms of community focused conversations is something we can talk about. But in your last chunk of time, what would you like to share with us about what you're working on, what you want to do, what you need help with, where you want to go, anything you want to share with your last minute?
Yeah. So my big passion right now that I'm just so jazzed on is Tantra, basically. And I know Tantra has got this kind of bad rap right now, and I don't care. I love Tantra. I love what it stands for. And what it really stands for is just this juicy, sinking your teeth into the moment, a sensuous living. So I am currently building a Tantra coaching program, and this is my free gift, what I'm going to kind of talk about right now. And this gift is the free gift is largely inspired by an amazing book called Pussy, A Reclamation. Men, I also suggest you read this book. It's truly, but women, definitely read Pussy, A Reclamation. It will change your life. It's already changing mine. And she talks about this in that book. So what this is the self-love Tantra container. And basically this is like lighting your own fire. I'm newly single. I am struggling with the newly single space. I am a sexual being, and it is, and then quarantine. Oh, fantastic. This is my world right now, is filling my own cup and working with my own tantric energy on my own. And this is one way to do it. So,
and Faeryn, just in your last 20 seconds or so before it gets too R-rated, which I know we've maybe got some children watching, give us your final piece.
Okay, so essentially, take yourself out on a date, an in-home date. Make yourself your favorite foods and feed yourself those favorite foods in a slow and sensuous manner, as if someone else was feeding them to you. For me, it's like mangoes and dark chocolate, not necessarily at the same time.
Faeryn, thank you so much, my dear.
No, am I out of time already? Damn it. Yeah. Well, anyways, read that book. It'll talk about this. It's good stuff.
Everybody, thank you, Faeryn. Everyone read Pussy. That's your homework tonight.
Pussy.
Thanks, Faeryn. So, wow, we got that. There's 2 giant topics there that we are going to come, I think we need to come back to with Faeryn in the future. So, but for now, we have got a fantastic guest coming on next to switch it up. Let's take it into the realms of technology. We've been sensual, we've been musical, we've been artistic of all sorts, and I'd now like to introduce hacker and technologist extraordinaire, the man himself, Samy Kamkar, who you may or may not remember as the guy infecting your MySpace page years ago before Facebook even existed, but just man of many talents himself. Samy, welcome tonight, my friend.
Awesome, thank you. Happy birthday, Helix. Yeah, I just wanted to share, I guess, a quick project that I'm working on and I'm trying to document right now. I'll share my screen here. All right. Okay, hopefully you see that. So I've been working on, I've just been making chocolate at home. And this is just a basic mold that I've been molding. And specifically, I've been trying to learn a little bit more science. I've been learning about diffraction gratings, and diffraction gratings are kind of like if you've ever worn those glasses at an EDM show or something where the light splits into a rainbow. That's what a diffraction grating is. So I've been making a mold with diffraction gratings and trying to find a good way to do this, sort of laser cut acrylic mold. And essentially I'm making chocolate. While it's warm, I put it against a diffraction grating and then I suck all the air out with a vacuum chamber. And what happens is the chocolate essentially is cast onto the diffraction grating and the chocolate itself becomes a diffraction grating. And what happens in that scenario is that this is regular chocolate. There's no special coating, but it actually produces this rainbow effect that you would that is visible, but it's entirely edible. And there's nothing special about the chocolate itself. So I just have this little short clip here. I don't know if it'll show in Zoom, but that's basically it. So I'm just kind of documenting it and trying to make it explainable in an easy way, because it's even hard. It's difficult for me to even understand why.
So that's edible, and it tastes like chocolate.
It's regular chocolate. It tastes exactly like chocolate. You can't tell other than optically that there's anything different, and there's nothing different about it. It's really just the surface texture that actually produces this sort of optical like magic, really.
So, I mean, I imagine that candy companies would want to be beating down your door to, this is like some futuristic candy right here.
Yeah. I'll probably just document it so anyone can do it. It's actually really easy. It took a little bit to get it to work really well and to be repeatable, and also tempered. That also makes it a little more challenging. But yeah, I'll be releasing that soon, and anyone can make this at home for really cheap.
Oh, Samy, thank you so much. Let's see that beautiful face of yours. You stop sharing your screen.
Oh yeah.
And just in your final 30 seconds or whatnot, what are you excited about for the future? Why are you feeling optimistic? Yeah, leave us with a little something like that.
I think I think challenges are good. So I think an interesting challenge or an interesting curveball to a lot of people. It's not great for everyone, but I think it makes us think differently and exercises other parts of our brains, which is interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, I think you're totally right. And Samy, thank you so much for introducing. I had no idea what you were going to share. I just love inviting you on at Mindshare because you always got something awesome. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And now to switch it up in a typical Mindshare fashion, we're going to take you from Tantra. We're going to bring you into the realm of iridescent chocolate. And next up, we're going to have a little bit of magic from our friend Reed. So Reed, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. Thanks for joining us. And how's your quarantine been? What have you been working on?
I've been playing video games and practicing magic, man. That's about it.
Nice. Well, I would expect nothing less. I'm so grateful for Andrew McGregor for introducing us a while back. And I mean, truly, it always is wonderful to have a magician friend. It always makes you just question the fabric of reality. So I'm just wondering what you want to share with us tonight.
All right. So it's a card trick, obviously, but there's something in magic, card magic specifically, that they call the holy grail of card tricks. You can look it up, it's a real thing. And for years, magicians have been trying to find out methods to find a way to do this. And the idea behind the trick is somebody names any card in the deck, and then somebody names a number, 1 to 52, and that card that they named ends up at that specific number. Right? So you can name any card, you can name any number, we count down and we find out that that card is at that number, or not, I don't know. But let's try. First of all, I want to show you that all the cards are different. You can trust the cards. You can't trust me. Now, if somebody could name a card, any card, whoever wants to.
I'll just say it because I'm the only other one who's not muted. So I should name it, I should say it to you right now?
Yeah, say it out loud.
So I'd say Jack of Clubs.
Jack of Clubs. Is there any reason why you picked that one?
It's just the most random I could think of.
All right. Now, let's have Helix do this next part. I think that would make sense.
He may or may not be getting ready. Let me see. Oh, I can see him.
Oh, I'm here. What can I do for you?
So we have the card Jack of Clubs picked, right? And we need a number, 152.
69.
That won't work.
What is it?
That won't work.
What do you need? 1 through
52. How many? 1 through 52.
Okay. Well, 45. It's my 45th birthday.
Good one.
45? 45 cards down. We count down. Do you think that the Jack of Clubs could be there? Yes, no? Possible, maybe?
Oh, for sure.
Maybe.
Let's try it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. This is 45, correct?
Yeah.
What card did you name?
Jack of
45.
Jack of clubs. Yeah, Jack.
Woo!
Wow.
Card down.
Amazing. Well done.
Thank you, Reed. So Reed is, you are unbelievable, man. And I've seen you up close at a Magicopolis before, and I'm really holding space for that. We will be able to join you and watch you up close again.
Yeah, Magic is taking a struggle since the new COVID, but so is everybody. So, you know, it's fun to be able to be here and do Magic again on Zoom with everybody. So thank you for the opportunity.
Reed, my pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be catching you again soon at Magicopolis for some up close magic and some drinks one of these evenings.
Awesome.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
So, wow, what an amazing evening. Helix, thank you so much for having us tonight and for rocking it. We got
Such a pleasure to have you.
Oh, yeah, always lovely to be had by you. We've got a couple of wonderful final performances, and I know then Helix is going to be taking it away with this whole Amori's lineup, a whole bunch of good things waiting for you this evening.
Well, not me, Amori. Amori will be taking it away.
Amori will be taking it away, a close friend of Helix's. So once again, my brother, happy birthday. And I want to bring next up to the stage the wonderful Jessica Rabbit. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. How's your quarantine been?
My quarantine has been delightful. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I've actually been keeping pretty busy. I work in post-production as an editor, and I also work as a voiceover performer. So I've been having a decent amount of work with that and collaborating musically with a few friends. I've written a couple songs with some friends, and been quarantining with my lovely partners and helping work on Poetic Kinetic's new Skynet piece, which is really cool. They're doing a piece called Change in the Air, and they're inviting people to participate.
I don't know if something happened to your video, but oh, there, it's back again. We could hear you just fine, but the video is now back. So sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, so Poetic Kinetic is creating a huge Skynet piece that's made up of hundreds of thousands of streamers, asking people to participate in the art piece by answering the prompt, what if we had, or when this is over, and adding each of those messages to this giant Skynet piece in response to what's going on in the world with the pandemic.
Well, thank you,
Jessica. We still can't see you. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, your video is very choppy, but your audio is coming through just fine. So there's a very pleasant picture of you just smiling right now. So
yeah, I think the internet connection might be a little dodgy, so that could be why we're losing video.
No problem. Luckily, the audio sounds great. So let's just go ahead.
Great.
So grateful for you to share something with us tonight.
Yeah, so I have a little song that's from one of my favorite hometown bands where I'm from in the northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, called Over the Rhine. And I was talking with my friend Marnie a lot about, during quarantine, embracing your shadow self, as we all spend a lot of times with ourselves and with our partners, and you start to have to embrace the darker side as we are all trapped together. I think that there's a lot of beauty in that side, and this song is kind of a celebration of that.
All my favorite people are broken. Believe me, my heart should know. Some prayers are better left unspoken. Just wanna hold you and let the rest go. All my friends are part saint and part sinner. We'll lean on each other, try to rise above. We're not afraid to admit we're all still beginners. We're all late bloomers when it comes to love. All my favorite people are broken. Believe me, my heart should know. Orphan believer, skeptical dreamer, step forward. You can stay right here, you don't have to go. And each wound you've received, just a burdensome gift, gets so hard to lift yourself off the ground. But the poet says we must praise the mutilated world. We're all working the graveyard shift, might as well sing along. All my favorite people are broken. Believe me, my heart should know. As for your tender heart, this world's gonna rip it wide open. It ain't gonna be pretty, but you're not alone. 'Cause all my favorite people are broken. Believe me, my heart should know. Often believers, skeptical dreamers come forward. Yeah, you're safe right here. You don't have to go. 'Cause all my favorite people are broken. Believe me, my heart should know. Some prayers are better left unspoken. Just wanna hold you and let the rest go.
Oh, that was just beautiful. Thank you so much, Jess. Really, really.
Thanks,
wonderful.
Dougie. Thanks for organizing this, Betty.
What a pleasure. And really, do you have any final thoughts to leave us for the future? Anything hopeful you want to say?
I would say that in the darkest time, there is always light, and some of the most beautiful art that I've ever seen is created in times of darkness. And keep creating. And go to whenthisIsover.org and create with us on the Poetic Kinetics Project. I love that.
Thanks, Jess. Well, you know what? Her video might not have been the best, but the audio came through so beautifully. Trudi, you are next up. The amazing White Witch herself. Trudi, how have you been? How's your quarantine?
Well, first I want to say thank you, Dougie. And I want to say thank you to Helix, and actually thank you to Helix's parents and grandparents for making love and having his parents, and then them making love and having Helix. I hope you can hear me. Because right now,
Trudi.
well, right now,
Very
Helix, I just want to say that, you know, your exterior is flamboyant and wild, and you know, you're like got the most the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And you know, you have such a personality, you can fill a room, and you know what, your heart is just so beautiful. And I had to go to Bali to find that out. And
you did? You didn't know that before?
I really saw it in Bali because I've never really had that much time one-on-one with you, and you're an amazing person. And the fact that you're doing all this for the Midnight Mission, our unhoused brothers and sisters need us now. And I feel very, very grateful in this time. So for my experience with all of this is that I started by making a ton of masks and hand sanitizer and spritzers and giving it all away to everyone I saw, to all my neighbors and to all my friends. And was busy. And then I was going to make sourdough bread, and I saw how much work that was. And I said, fuck that, get me the yeast. So I made some bread. But I've been reading books to my grandson who's in France. And I've read 55 books in 55 days. And it's been my consistent way of giving and showing up for others, because it's really been about others for me. This whole thing has been about others. It's been about, so anyway, I told Dougie that I was going to say 3 words. One was languid. Well, efficiency first, because I was busy. Then languid, which is like the least amount of effort for the most amount of doing. And then like looking inward. So I've like reversed butterflied. I've gone from extending myself and being really of service than going into the service of myself. And I feel like in this time, especially as an older woman, to really search like my heart and give honor to those who've come before me. That's why I said to you, Helix, like, I'm really happy for your parents to be having loved to make you. Like, who I am today is because of my ancestors, for all of those
And
who
I'm thankful to your parents as well, Trudi.
So I've been, my other word was whimsy. So I've been reading like books like this. I've been reading I'm Not Technical Like Teddy. And
great
Teddy, that was really great. And so I have been reading books. And so I've been putting myself out there. I actually made a YouTube channel. So if people want to listen, kids especially, because I appreciate the parents right now. Parents who have been, I'm a teacher, so parents who've been without their kids for 6 hours of the day, all of a sudden are in the room with their child and working if they are lucky enough to be working. So I've been doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of giving, and I've also been adding some whimsy, and that's probably where I want to go right now, because I know my time is.
Yeah, so Trudi, in your last minute, thank you so much for sharing all that. What would you like to leave us with this evening?
I would like to leave this. I have to do that, and I have to do this. And I'm going to take this.
Where is this going?
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is from Selina, right? Selina encouraged me. Can you see that? Oh yeah, but first off, donate to the Midnight Mission, because they're doing a great thing for these people who are unhoused and who are not as I guess don't have as much resources as all of us on this call do. So just one for that. So this is for you, Helix.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it.
Trudi, thank you so much.
I love you.
Tap dancing.
I love you.
Tune into Trudi's. What's your story time channel?
It's just my name.
Awesome.
Trudi Forristal.
Okay.
I love you all. Everyone, you've got everything you need. Reach out, talk to each other. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Trudi. Thank you for joining us. So our last performance tonight, really giving it up to the birthday boy, Helix, and this amazing cause, the Midnight Mission, here to join us, to round us out. And then we're going to have Dave show us what artwork he's been creating throughout this Mindshare inaugural experimental online discourse panel that we've had. The legendary, the always fantastically creative and interesting, always doing more things than I can even imagine how he does, but part of it is maybe because he's 7 foot tall and he just has that amount of energy. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. Happy birthday, Helix.
Now, I know you, like me, are a man of a lot of like in-person experiences. How's this quarantine been for you? What have you been doing?
So I initially had kind of devastation because everything I was doing involved like travel and adventure or spectacle. And then I started to do a thing where I've been playing bagpipes for about 2 years, where I would go to the end of my block and just play Amazing Grace. And I did it every sunset. And so I've been playing a lot of Amazing Grace, but then I got some recognition for that. And then all these news outlets came. And so now my Amazing Grace is like known in South Korea and like parts of India. And it was on local LA TV stations as well. So I've become quite the musician in quarantine, I guess.
So this is just so fascinating. You've gone down to Santa Monica near the ocean side there. Every night you've been playing and you got picked up and suddenly you're on like all these news channels around the world. What do you think people are identifying? What are they sort of resonating with?
That's a really fascinating question because, I mean, there's other musicians who are like going out at night and all that, but I think it's that I play Amazing Grace and I do it at sunset. And Amazing Grace on the bagpipes is a funeral song and a rejoicing song. So I've had lots of people come up and they're like, I had a relative pass or a loved one pass and I couldn't go to the funeral. So your performance like was my funeral. So I think this wasn't like consciously thought out. Maybe I felt it when I started doing this, but it provides that catharsis for some people, and then other people it's just beautiful. Like one woman said she hadn't heard live music in 2 months, and it's like a thing that is just so normal in the old world, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, let's go hear some live music, but now you can't. You like literally cannot. So there's a variety of things, but yeah, I think it's the nature of Amazing Grace and the power of that song combined with like a plague that we're all going through together and the real uncertainty and
well, it's just a beautiful gift that you're giving to people. You know, I've seen like the news videos. It's amazing how they're reacting and just the response that you're getting. So I don't think this Zoom would be complete unless you were able to share some of this experience, some of this in terms of like what you've been playing, especially if people don't know what Amazing Grace is or have never heard it on the bagpipes. I imagine though no one here and probably no one watching has heard bagpipes on a Zoom chat before. So I think at the very least, it's a good experiment. What do you say?
Yeah. So I'm going to show a video. The reason we can't do it live is the bagpipes I play can only be played at 92 decibels. So that creates all sorts of tech. But yeah, I'm going to show you a clip from a story the LA Times did. And if you like it, you can find the rest of that clip and see my interview as well.
On mightykingdrew.com. Andrew, thank you so much. What a gift. What a wonderful thing to leave us with. Just want to say thank you so much for joining and all the support that you've been in my world and for Mindshare. So thanks again, my friend.
You're most welcome.
So guys, we're almost done. Our last, just checking out before we hand it back over to Helix, is going to be our friend, Dave Zaboski, to show us what he has been creating meanwhile. So Dave, take it away. Give us a screen share.
All right. Well,
welcome back.
I just have been listening to everybody. And so while I was listening, I was doing this little painting.
Wow.
So it's just this little, oh shoot, see this? I made this little mistake right there, and then I can go undo, undo, undo. Oh my God, undo is such a blessing.
So this was done in an hour or less, really. But is there a quick way, because we've only got 30 seconds here, was there a quick way to show us where this began, or how, can you do like a timeline slide through or some quick way, or is that not possible?
God, wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be like magic. No, I honestly, actually on this one,
yeah,
I can't, because I just flattened all the layers.
No problem. Well, so, if you send me
I can make it disappear.
That's basically what he started with, right there, folks. Well, Dave, you are a man of such wisdom and life experience, truly one of my mentors and one of my best buddies. Could you have a couple of words that it's not about Helix for this one? Bless his sweetheart. Happy birthday, Helix.
Thank God, no more about me, please.
Thank you so much, Helix, for having us on tonight. I want to give, and everyone for tuning in. We got a whole bunch that we're going to be, is in store for us. Amori's going to be stepping up in a minute. Dave, I want to just give you the last word here. I want to say thanks to all our presenters. Thanks to Helix. Everybody support the Midnight Mission. And Dave, what do you have to say? What do you have to leave us with?
Well, I suppose I would think about it like this, like what an incredible opportunity that we're in right now, that if you really think about it, what is our best protection against something like this? It's to be as healthy as humanly possible, healthy in mind and healthy in spirit and healthy in body, and that we take care of ourselves and each other, because I think that that is really, our best bet at having the world that we want to create for ourselves. So, you know, we say at Art Temple, everything is only love.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't have said it better. Dave, thank you so much. Thank you so much to all of our presenters. Thank you to Helix for having us on. And with that, with no further ado, I'd like to hand it off to the man, Amaury himself. Thanks.
Well,
everyone.
it's not going to be Amaury just yet, guys. We're going to take a quick technical break and get set up. I've got Amaury setting up right now, and then we will be up and running. Thank you, Mindshare. We love you.
Thanks so much, Helix. We love you too, buddy. Happy birthday.
Have a great one, my friends, and stay safe out there. We'll be back shortly, guys, with Amaury's Casino and Burlesque.
Bye, everybody. Thanks to all our presenters. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.